I do think so. I've taken some pretty hard positions on these things. The cost, and it's not just isolated to Nassau County. There are other places in the state, but the decisions are made at the local level by school boards, and the salary at that level is outrageous. The governor of the state of New York makes $179,000. A school district superintendent, I don't care where you're from, shouldn't be making that kind of money. This city schools chancellor, Kathy Black, makes, I think, $250,000. There's a million kids, you know, I mean, there is a tremendous difference, and I think it's very fair to raise that debate. And what it does, it gets people paying more attention. And then if we want to go to that debate about distribution and fairness and equity, then I think it's all part of what should be discussed. There's no question in my mind, a contract like that, to me, in my opinion, as a taxpayer, as a parent, as an elected official, it's outrageous. But we have to keep the big picture in mind. Now, the governor has detailed a number of things in education, but I don't know what he's doing in Medicaid. I don't know what he's doing in terms of mandate relief.
Right.
And I'm not the only one. I don't know what's going on with prison closures. And those are things that all have to be fleshed out over the course of the next 4 to 5 weeks. So it's not solely related to education. And, you know, we have a tremendous amount of work ahead of us, and I won't apologize, and I don't think any one of us should, for raising points that are a fair and legitimate part of the debate. I'll give you one other example that I think is something that no one is really focusing on right now. The governor does a cost shift in his education budget for what we call 4201 schools, schools for the blind and the deaf.
Right.
In the past, the state was picking up at least 70% of that cost. Now the governor is shifting it, saving the state $100 million, but putting that cost back on local school districts. No one has even talked about that. That's a $100 million mandate, cost shift to local districts that in the history of this program, which is well over 100 years, nothing like that has ever happened. So if I'm going to make that part of the debate, that is an absolutely fair and essential part of what needs to be discussed. Just because the governor proposes doesn't mean that we have to blithely go along and pass whatever he wants. Let me also be very clear, he's outlined the problem, he's done it in many respects in good detail in some areas, lacking in others, but we absolutely have an obligation to work with him because this problem is not going to go away unless we all work together.